back to the option instead of the duck goose linebacker coming through. Yeah, hit him with the spin of the juke. Yeah, we gon' blow your block like a new. Yeah, and I spend a dime every two. We gon' lock down on the offense.
Trouble keeping up with the Joneses? It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Aaron Jones, no picnic a week ago. He's looking for another big game, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the New York.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New York Jets. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's going to air it out deep for Green. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Tremaine Johnson. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. After the interception, here's Darnold. And his first pass is incomplete. Darquez Denard there defensively.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. The numbers on the ground for Jones last week. 19 carries, 117 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
They go play action here on first down. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 10 more there and another first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Now a play fake here on first down. And out of bounds right around the 20. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
try the air now with Darnold. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Here we go now.
Now Jones. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
Second and goal from the 1.
Here we go now.
They'll go with the keeper. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Bengals have recovered it.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. No. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at the 20. All right, let's see what Dalton can do after the fumble recovery. And caught right side. Green. 30. 10. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A.J. Green, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed and, more importantly, perhaps that first-round bye.
But they have to clinch it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key, right? So, in a sense, the playoffs have started. They've got to go ahead and get this thing done. Otherwise, it's a different road, and you really don't want to be at the mercy of other teams and their results.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. A play fake, and it's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jordan Willis in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. They'll run it now out of the gun. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Off of play action, Darnold rolling to his right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup to get him back to the original line of scrimmage with 3rd down coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This will be caught by Brown. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And Bullock will put this one through, and that will make it 10-0 here in the first. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
With Charles Davis, Brandon Gordon with you. This offense finding its legs. Now, here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Play action. It's Darnold. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Tackle by Jordan Willis.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Here's Darnold. And it's caught by Herndon. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Here we go now. 3-19.
To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Darnold from the red zone now. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A great play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Jets have made this a one-score game.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals getting set to go. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's a give to Mixon. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
It's second down. Dalton looking. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And this is going to be incomplete.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3-and-out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
And this will be down just on the other side of midfield. The dive unsuccessful. The big fella can't pick it up. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? On first down, it's Darnold. A dump underneath to Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yep.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now off the bootleg, Darnold. The left side throw complete to Adams. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Got a man, it's complete. Williams. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. A first down throw, Darnold. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go. In this first half.
Hurry up, here we go.
Throwing again is Darnold. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here we go now.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Jets are able to strike for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. On second down, here's Mixon. And he powers his way up past the 30. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Now Joe Mixon. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll kick it away for the second time.
Lucky 56.
Faking the give, Darnold. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down. So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? you adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. They'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. He's got Adams on the hookup. A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time. So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Herndon's got it complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They give him a gain of 38.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing.
Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Robbie Anderson, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Jets are going to add on to their lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a Jet touchdown. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Dalton throwing on second down. And incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
To throw on third down. Dalton under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. He is proving his worth defensively, getting the sack here. That comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything?
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carl Lawson in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now he'll let it go deep right side. He's got him in, complete. And they finally take him down, but not before he reaches the 43.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, Darnold. Caught on the right side by Adams. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Jordan Willis in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've been excellent. 6 for 7. This is 3rd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. And that is incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made.
And he goes down. Dalton couldn't get rid of it, and that will be a safety. So free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll go again to Jones. And some room to run now. A big run there by Jones. 47 yards on the ground.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Hurry up, here we go.
They go play action here on 1st down. They'll buy some time right. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Hurry up, here we go.
Second down and 10. Darnold over the middle, complete. It's Adams. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Geno Atkins in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. To throw is Darnold. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Jets on third down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 7.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Off of play action, Darnold. Forced out, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. This from 42 yards out. Oh, and Myers left that one out there. It's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. So without making excuses, you have to figure that this rain has had an impact now on both of his missed field goals.
It's one of those situations really difficult to practice for and tough to prepare yourself against. It's just a whole different animal kicking in the rain, and we've really seen him struggle.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at about the 32.
Hey, get ready for something coming left. Wait,
Dalton here from the gun. Green's got it over the middle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And that is incomplete here.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Second down, Dalton. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Darren Lee picks it, and he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
319! 319!
After the interception, here's Darnold. It's caught here by Adams. A good pickup there at 22. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It'll be a gain of 11, and that'll make it 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory. Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches back onto the field. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game.
They'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I'd file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Dalton caught Eifert over the middle and able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
This will be caught by Brown. And down he'll go at the 25. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Dalton under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Adam Gase rolls the dice. It doesn't pan out. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. And the Jets set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happened.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Max Williams, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jets find a way to stretch their lead. They have the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
passing. It's Dalton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Here's Dalton, and he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Tremaine Johnson, and they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. And that's a loss of 7 on the 1st down play.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Detroit! Detroit!
A play fake, and it's Darnold. No, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and it goes down. Carl Lawson in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory, like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Dalton. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And the Jets have recovered.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Jets on third down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A great play there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Jets capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean. Sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Throwing. Dalton. Quick throw. That's complete on the inside slant. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The Jets are going to use the 1st of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Britton Colquitt now, standing just outside his own goal line. It's fielded at the 45. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Instead of running, Darnold's going to throw this thing. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Darnold, and the pressure gets to him again.